Well, folks, the ongoing controversy regarding the use of AI generated images in tabletop gaming, and indeed using AI generated images from the art in tabletop gaming, is not going away anytime soon. And we have got an article from Dicebreaker that discusses this exact topic. But before we get into that, of course, I want to remind you folks that this video is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, or for the OSR. Old School is in play at the table, and you can find them at DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com. And of course, folks, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click the bell icon and subscribe button for notifications to get information on all of our videos and live streams and everything else that we do to bring tabletop gaming news to you folks out there. Now, I know we generally don't focus much on Magic the Gathering, but we're going to check this out today because I think there is a little bit of old school resonance. And again, this comes from Dicebreaker. I will link to the article below. So let's have a quick gander there. And this is from just a couple of days ago. Artist lawsuit alleges Midjourney scraped copyrighted Magic the Gathering art to train AI. New evidence includes a list of artist names thousands long, full of Magic the Gathering veterans and fan favorites. And before you ask, hey, what has this got to do with old school D&D? Remember, of course, that both Jeff Easley and Errol Otis have created art for Magic the Gathering cards. Their names and their art could very well be in this. But let's get into the meat of the article a little bit. And this is from Chase Carter over at Dicebreaker. Self-proclaimed research lab Midjourney allegedly fed an unknown number of Magic the Gathering art pieces into its AI-powered image generation tool. A new piece of evidence added to an ongoing lawsuit against Midjourney, Stability AI, and DeviantArt shows thousands of artist names that the plaintiffs assert had their artwork scraped from the internet and fed into Midjourney's image diffusion tool as training fodder. Called Exhibit J, the list includes dozens, if not hundreds, of artists who've worked with MTG maker Wizards of the Coast in the past. The full list, submitted on November 29th, composes over 4,700 names. This could be bad news for Midjourney, as independent artists Sarah Anderson, Kelly McKernan, and Carla Ortiz, represented by the law firm Joseph Saveri Law Firm, want to prove that the use of copyright images without credit, compensation, or consent violates the rights of artists and should not continue. Currently shaking out in California's Northern District courts, the case could create a precedent for making, quote, AI fair and ethical for everyone, according to the plaintiffs. Illustrator Reed Southern posted screenshots from what they claimed is the Midjourney Discord server, and it allegedly shows CEO David Holtz admitting that the startup used Magic the Gathering cards to train their tool. Holtz apparently found a list of names on Wikipedia and dumped them into a now restricted Google document. You might find it amusing to hear that early on we would just render out huge swaths of Magic the Gathering cards as test sequences, Holt allegedly said on the server. The current lawsuit's central thrust argues that the compressed images fed into Stable Diffusion and relative generative AI tools are copies of existing works, and that the whole process amounts to little more than a 21st century collage tool. Midjourney's collage apparently contains the works of storied Magic the Gathering artists such as Greg Staples, Pete Venters, Kev Waller, Carl Critchlow, and Mark Teeden, along with popular illustrators Rebecca Guay, Magalai Villeneuve, and Winona Nelson. These resulting images may or may not outwardly resemble the training images. Nonetheless, they are derived from copies of the training images and compete with them in the marketplace. At minimum, Stable Diffusion's ability to flood the market with an essentially unlimited number of infringing images will inflict permanent damage on the market for art and artists. AI is a parasite that, if allowed to proliferate, will cause irreparable harm to artists now and in the future. And then here's a Twitter link. This is from December 31st, just a few days ago. Midjourney developers caught discussing laundering and creating a database of artists who've been dehumanized to styles to train Midjourney off of. This has been submitted into evidence in the lawsuit. Prompt engineers, your skills are not yours. Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro and the publisher of Magic the Gathering and at ultra-popular tabletop RPG Dungeons & Dragons has proven a consistent revenue earner even during a tough economic time for toys. It could be highly motivated to protect Magic the Gathering's art copyrights, especially seeing as Midjourney paid tools reportedly raked in $200 million in 2023. CB Insight estimates that the tech startup could be worth as much as $10 billion. Dicebreaker reached out to Wizards of the Coast but did not hear back prior to publication. Despite a brush with AI-generated art in an official D&D release in mid-2023, Wizards of the Coast has maintained a nominal anti-AI art position in its official products by referring to an internal policy restricting their illustrators from using Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, or related tools. Magic the Gathering's team went one step further, posting an explicit statement on their official website stating they require artists, writers, and creatives contributing to the Magic the Gathering TCG to refrain from using AI generative tools. Midjourney did not respond to a request for comments regarding this latest exhibit, which was added alongside an updated plaintiff complaint on November 29th. The judge allowed a direct copyright infringement claim forward, despite the defendant's attempt to throw it out, but dismissed several of the plaintiff's attempts to prove that AI art outputs also infringe on existing copyrights. The plaintiffs will have an opportunity to amend the dismissed claims before moving forward. And that is, wow, that is a hot mess, folks. I don't know what more you can take away from that. I mean, that is kind of the smoking gun, is it not? They literally said, we took these images. When so much of tabletop gaming, at least from a profitability standpoint, can be viewed to be in a turmoil these days, I can actually absolutely understand these artists wanting to dig their heels in. And to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that Wizards of the Coast themselves have not gotten involved in this lawsuit directly, particularly when you consider how much money is at stake here, with Midjourney being potentially worth $10 billion. But of course, I want to know what you guys think. We've talked about AI art generation on this channel before, about Wizards of the Coast getting caught with one of their artists having used it. Other companies, the creator of the Terminator board game has stated somewhat ironically that no AI will be used in the generation of any of their art or other assets. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And again, if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Thank you for your support, and we will be back, of course, with more videos later on. Peace, and don't take no BS from a machine.